Hey Marlena, how you doing? This works, definitely. Definitely, it works. Very good. I don't think option two is working quite as well. I think that option two is it's a little a little scattered, fragmented as it were. So you've got this separation here um, created by the separation created by the lower extremity of the G, and then I think it's too fragmented. I really do. Plus, watch, doesn't work at small sizes. This, however, this works great and it's fresh. It's not, this is old and it's stuffy and it seems like it was designed in the, many, many decades ago. And this just has the really super fresh, clean, contemporary, modern feel. And it works. I have a couple of suggestions I want you to consider. But first, I want to jump over to your written rationale, emphasize the word wellness. And I think that it works. I really do. I definitely see the encoding and I definitely think it works. Helvetica Neue and Helvetica is just such an amazing typeface, isn't it? There's so many out there that are just phenomenal. Helvetica is right at the top of the list, though. Sans serif, easily readable at small sizes. Jury's out on that one. There's those who believe, Marlena, that serif is easier to read at small sizes. There's those that believe that sans serif is easier to read at small sizes. So it's a matter of personal preference. To me, the difference between sans serif and serif really is it depends on the utilitarian intent of the piece itself. How do you want it to look? You want it to look traditional? Stick with a serif typeface. You want it to look contemporary, stick with a sans serif. And in a nutshell, that's kind of like my kind of rule of thumb. But there's so much more involved in that. But generally, I think that's a really good consideration to focus on when deciding sans serif or serif. Align my typographic elements horizontally and adjust the tracking accordingly. We'll look at that in 1 second. Blue, I think blue is a good color, definitely. And it makes sense. Your written rationale makes sense as to why. Thank you so much for addressing the reasons why you chose the colors you did. This is phenomenal. I think this is really smart. It shows that you're really developing as a designer. Showing it in black and white is just smart. Oh, something weird happened here, though. Let's get in here and take a look. I'm not sure why that is just so thin there. See that the word center is just not working. It's not working well. Watch what happens when we back off. It just falls apart. I'm not real sure exactly what happened there, but it's certainly is probably just kind of some weird PDF rendering weirdness. But nonetheless, I think that is really thin for a typeface. You may even consider using a bold on that. But that I'm going to talk about that in a second. Let's get back here. Light gray, my word about communicates intent and message visual pleasing. I agree. It works and it is visual pleasing, no question. A couple of comments here to make it even better. These little lines that you talk about, they're forced. They're not working. They're irregular. They fall at irregular intervals. The width thickness, the stroke thickness is different. These don't follow the curve of the S. This seems like a very randomly placed right here. So I would recommend removing those. I think that they're just basically, I'm going to say this because it's a graphic design term. It's going to seem derogatory, but I don't mean it that way. It's visual clutter. And we can see that here at smaller sizes where it disappears at smaller sizes, which means to me, a perfect indication that it's not needed. Okay, let's jump back up here. I have a couple of other issues regarding the drop shadow or that kind of stroked shadow dimension. I get it. You're going for dimension, but I just don't know. Again, it just seems like it's a little bit forced. Plus, again, at small sizes, it disappears. It becomes something that almost looks like a mistake. So either be deliberate about it or get rid of it. Be deliberate about it. By that, I mean this. Duplicate the whole letter, change the color to gray, offset it. Forget these little lines and these little strokes. It's just too forced. It's just not enough here to hold things together visually. So if you want to add some dimension, I would forget that white part and just go with the gray. So again, duplicate the letter, offset it, change the color, place it behind, and you're in business. And try that, all right? And tell me how you feel about it. If you don't think it works, which I think it's going to beautifully, but if you don't think it does, and you want to stick with that white, boy, it's really a tough call. I don't think it's working. It's just too, like over here, that looks like a mistake because it's so thin. And we can definitely see that the whole phenomenon changes at smaller size. See how tiny that little stroke is right there. And this right here is going to be a production problem. So yeah, I would definitely recommend just offsetting the whole thing and leaving it as a solid color. Which is always a better alternative than a drop shadow. It's just to duplicate the letter form, send it behind, change the color, offset it. Okay, try it. I think you're going to like it a lot. So again, let's take a look at your kerning. Again, these little things here, these little drop shadows are going to cause some kerning issues. I think boy, that's a little wide of a space right there. Other than that, I think your kerning's it's pretty good. Your kerning looks pretty good. I would say, as far as kerning goes, the word George, close down the space between the E and the O and R, the R and the G and the E. Close that down a little bit. MA, pull the A closer to the M. Definitely, these are spread too wide. I'm not saying pile them on top of each other, but just close them down just a touch, because right now you can see that this is inconsistent spaces here, 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 here. So watch your tracking and your kerning on that. Wellness is kerned very well, very well. So yeah, that's just such a visual. Yeah, tough one. Yeah, definitely try offsetting that in gray, and I think you're going to find your solutions there. Remove those inner strokes there, and I think you're in good, solid shape here. All right, so fantastic job, I guess, in a nutshell is what I'm trying to say, but just some fine tuning here, and I definitely think you're going to like this much, much better. Let me know. Go ahead and do it. Try it. Let me know what you think. Good job considering how this works in black. That's smart. All right, great job. Any questions, comments, concerns from here? Please let me know, and I'll be glad to address them. Thank you very much.